All right, Battletech enthusiasts, checklist here. Pros and cons versus energy mechs. Trying to shift my tactics. One of the things I do when I'm looking to build a new mech list or a new lance, I don't want to repeat, yes, that is a Mackie. I don't want to repeat anything that exists in one of my other lances. As an example, my Locust Longbow lance, condensing down the tactics, essentially like this. Take lots of locusts, run them around trying to cause as much chaos as possible, lose a few in the process, no big deal, and use that chaos to basically have multiple longbows and multiple archers just pelt you with LRM 20s and stuff like that on the table. So a very ammo dependent list. Well, now I've been kind of looking at, on the opposite side, this idea of energy based mechs and building a list independent of ammunition. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to have a couple of my favorite mechs in there or have a little bit of crossover, but 60, 70% all energy. So the first thing that comes to mind, of course, ammo. I'm not expending ammo. Does that really matter in a one-off game? Most of the Battletech games that I personally play, and I think this depends on your local meta, a lot of the Battletech games that I personally play, it's a one-off game. We'll put together a lance, we'll agree to a battle value, we'll put our mechs out on the table, maybe we'll play a mission, maybe we'll just go head-to-head, we'll see what happens, and we blow some stuff up. So if I have very, very ammo-dependent mechs like longbows and archers, it's really no big deal. I'm not really worried about running dry on ammo, and if I do, it's towards the end of the game anyway. Someone's going to win or lose. In a campaign, if we're stringing together multiple adventures here, multiple scenarios, multiple stories, okay, maybe it becomes a difference. Maybe you take some mechs that aren't so extreme, say ammo like a longbow versus one of the Ost series here that's all energy. Maybe you have something in the middle, maybe like the Marauder here, or the Grasshopper, right? You have some elements of ammo, but even if they run dry, you've still got medium lasers, large lasers, things like that to utilize on the table. Ammo explosions. Now, is that a consideration? I don't know. You know, it seems like Battletech, the odds, I can't scientifically prove this, but the odds kind of seem like 1 out of 4. Now, I just said, right, all energy mechs, but I love the longbow on there, so we're going to play a longbow in my list. It seems like for every 4 games that I play, there is 1 headshot, 1 ammo explosion, or 1 kind of like, what the heck just happened? Here's a good example of a hybrid mech, right? The Thorn kind of running forward. I'm really liking him as a light kind of sniper, skirmisher type mech that's out there. In that type of instance, am I really worried about an ammo explosion? I want to say, well, actually I'm 3 games in. Tonight's going to be the 4th game, so maybe tonight I am. But when you've had that happen, when you've gone boom, boom, that's a big deal. That could potentially happen. I mean, my Mackie got hit last game, sad face, and blew up. He's got that AC-10 ammo in there. He had maybe half the rounds, and just he exploded. So these are the considerations back and forth. Maybe you look. The big disadvantage I see with energy weapons is range. Okay, I would consider the PPC an energy weapon, so maybe not so much, but certainly when going up against some of the lighter autocannons, or if we're looking at missile spreads, right, long-range missiles and things like that, things are different. For me, the big question with ammo is going to be heat. Can you manage the heat? Some mechs do it better than others. Some mechs have a lot of heat sinks, some not so much. I'm thinking like the awesome perfect energy mech on there. You fire 2 PPCs, then maybe 3, then maybe 1, kind of 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2. You have some sort of combo, and unless you're lucky to be playing on a map where there's deep water, or you've got a couple of coolant trucks kind of hooked up there, then you need to take that into consideration. I also find the energy mechs to be a little bit more resilient, especially if they're going to be a zombie mech, where you get the arms blown off. like the awesome, I don't have to worry about ammo explosions. I don't have to worry about heat cooking stuff off. If I get my arms blown off, then apparently I've lost 1 PPC. I still have 2 in the left and right torso. It's really, really strong. So all these things to take into account for the equation. But for me, the big what if, pure energy versus pure ammo. Do I have another ammo mech in here? Yeah, I guess the Irby would count as a more ammo reliant mech, specifically because that small laser is just. When's the last time you popped off the small laser? And if you're popping off the small laser and counting on something to happen, you can't even crit farm with it because you can't even get that close. But for me, the big question with energy versus ammo is this. Are you okay with the difference in spread? Are you okay with the energy weapons, the damage output is consistent? I hit you with a large laser, right? I hit you with the large laser on there, and I'm going to get 8 points to one area. If I hit you with the PPC, I'm going to get 10 to one area. As soon as you get into missiles, especially the bigger packs on here, then now where are those clusters hitting? What spots are they hitting? What's the spread? What's the damage? You can't rely on it as much. And this now gets into, are you a competitive wargamer where you know, okay, look, my energy mechs over here, these guys are going to be consistent damage to those spots. But stuff that is going to rely on ammo, well, now we're kind of looking at it where, hey, how's that going to work from that perspective? So these are kind of the questions. These are kind of the equations that I ask myself. Well, can you have a question with an equation? These are the questions I'm kind of asking myself as now I'm switching to looking at a primarily all energy mech build.